Hey buddies, Miss Puggy here, coming at you another Wonderlands news video. Today I want to talk about class power. Now, class power is a new stat that we actually just got based on some demos that we got. To empower them, you actually need to wear armor. And because of the fact that we're talking about armor, I'm going to be showing some spoilers on the screen here. So if you guys don't want any Wonderlands spoilers, please don't continue because I'm going to also have to show some legendaries. The only examples of armor that I have are 1 epic and I think 4 legendaries. But if you're okay with spoilers, please stay tuned because we're going to be talking about something that's very exciting. It's definitely going to change the way that we empower our character and a really nice passive that we're going to get. But before we get into the meat and potatoes video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on Twitch in the top right. You have no idea how much helps me out, and let's get into it.
Legendary? Whoa! No way, dude!
So first things first, we're going to be talking about the armor, as I said here. So see right here is a level 10 armor gear drop, and as you can see right here we have Clawbringer and Brrzerker power. Now Clawbringer and Brrzerker power, I'm just going to label the highest number as primary because I'm going to think of it as you want to wear this if this is your primary class. But of course, if this Brrzerker was your primary class, you could potentially still gain some benefit from it, but preferably would want the higher bonus to be your class that you're actually playing at the moment. So you can see right here the armor is basically I would say it's necessarily really just class mods. I mean, it literally is class mods. So just be a little bit generous. There's literally skill points and the secondary stats. The only thing that's different is the power. And the reason why the power system is so interesting to me is because we can see that class power directly translates to better action skill damage or better duration for your action skill, as well as leveling up your hero feat, which is, for example, right here. I only have one example, so we're going to have to theory craft for the rest because I couldn't find an example for Graveborn. For some reason, I couldn't quite get any images at all based on the findings that I looked at. But this image here is courtesy of Lazy Data. So thank you very much, Lazy Data. This is actually from one of his streams that I pulled this from. So you can see right here that Dirty Fighting, which is his class feat that allows you to get additional critical hit chance. It is being boosted by 8.7%, a boost based on his 30% critical hit chance that it gets as a hero feat as just having the class either as your primary or your secondary via multi-classing. So this would then translate to 8.7 plus 30, so we have 38.7% more critical hit chance, which is a multiplicable multiplier, which is a bit unfortunate. If it was additive, it'd be a lot more crazy, but this just means that you have 38.7% more chance to crit with addition to your baseline. But we could talk more about dex and critical hit chance on another video. Basically, what I'm trying to get at is that hero power is going to be a great way to allow you to boost your action skill and hero feat. Now, I did some math. I know you guys love math. So what I did here, as you can see right here, we're going to have primary class power as +9 at level 10. So if we follow the trend of the math and went all the way to, say, scale this power to a level 40 armor piece, if we're following the same trends that I can see from all these other examples, here are the other class mods. Here's level 13, we see 9.5, we can see level 11, 9.1, level 16, 10.1%, and level 11, 9.1 again. If you take all this math, follow the trend, you can just see that every 5 levels you're going to get an additional 1% on your primary and an additional 0.5% on your secondary. And basically what that means is once you get to level 40, which is going to be the end cap for Wonderlands, you're going to see armor pieces are going to drop 15% primary class power and 7.5% secondary class power. So ideally, when you farm armor pieces, you want to get your primary class that you're playing as and the secondary class that you're playing as well. Whichever one, as long as it's the 2 classes that you're speccing into, you're good. As I showed before, the only example for how the class power is going to boost your character is for Stabbomancer. We can see it's duration based on a duration based action skill and damage based on a damage-based action skill. That only leads us with speculation on what else we can do. So we already know what each hero feat is going to be for each class. Everyone probably already can guess how these bonuses are going to affect each action skill. Most action skills that we know of are damage-based, except for Ambidextrous. I'm not sure how Ambidextrous is going to work with class power. I'm assuming your class bonus power is going to make Ambidextrous spells deal more damage or something. But since everyone knows action skills already, let's talk about the class feats, because we did get some class feats confirmation that we weren't aware of before. We already know that Sporebringer is going to get the mushrooms, so it's possible that the class power is just going to make your companion deal more damage. Same exact example for the Clawbringer, once again increasing the Wyvern's damage. For another companion class, which is Graveborn, going to increase Demi-Lich's power itself. And then the two other examples are going to be Rage of Ancients, which is the Brrzerker class feat that we only just got confirmation of recently, which means that every single time we activate our action skill, we are going to be enraged, which allows us to apply bonus frost damage to all attacks that we do. The enraged duration won't start ticking down until your action skill ends, so you could be spinning for the whole time and your enraged counter would just stay up as max. We don't know how long the duration is going to be, but as soon as the spinning ends, or any action skill that has a long duration, the enraged counter is only going to start ticking down as soon as it ends. So we can see right here that enraged just means that we're going to get bonus frost damage every single time we activate action skill damage, which makes me think of some obvious synergies with action skill based builds, but we can talk about that another day. And then the other one is going to be Spellshot's ability that grants more spell damage every single time we cast a spell or reload, or if we cast repeating spells, we have a chance to get additional spell weaving stacks for each repeating cast. So basically, Spellshots is you shoot a spell, you reload, you're going to get more spell damage. Very basic. Based on the class power bonus that we got for Stabbomancers is going to be very baseline, so this increases Stabbomancer's critical hit chance. It's very possible that the spell weave just means that we're going to get an additional spell damage when we get more class power for Spellshot, and vice versa. For the Brrzerker, we're going to probably get more bonus frost damage, which is always good. Bonus elemental damage is always the way you want to go in most Borderlands games, so that's a great perk to get right there if you want to boost that. The only other thing to really discuss about that is how it's going to affect each action skill. Now, we already have a great examples from Stabbomancer. It's probably the best example we probably could have ever got, because we have one that increases the damage of one of the action skills and then increases the duration of one of the action skills. So that's a great example of how it's going to interact with certain action skills, because we can just see that these two for Brrzerker are damage based, so it's probable that the class power is just going to make each one of these more stronger damage wise, but it's also possible that Dreadwind will have a duration increase. If it does have a duration increase, that'd be great. Becoming a giant pain tornado for longer is always great. Once again, for Clawbringer, it's possible that Storm's Judgment increases the duration because it's a lightning ability damage that does melee damage every second it's out to surrounding enemies, so it's possible that we want to increase the duration as opposed to damage, but we don't really know. This is all speculation. Once again, Cleansing Flame is probably just damage based. Dire Sacrifice is basically that one ability where he jumps in and does a giant nova, so it's possible that class power is just going to increase the damage of Dire Sacrifice, while Reaper Bones is going to make leech efficiency and possibly the bonus magic damage be a more effective, or it's possible it just increases duration. It might be very possible every single class is going to have increases power and then increased duration, because we have a very obvious this does damage ability and then a very obvious this has a duration abilities. Like, once again, Ambidextrous, probably with class power we're going to increase the damage of Ambidextrous spells, while Polymorph is going to probably have an increased duration, and probably once again Barrage is just going to increase the damage, and Blizzards, I'm really thinking it's just going to increase the damage of Blizzard, but Blizzard kind of seems more like a CC, because personally I wouldn't want to pick Blizzard over Barrage, because it seems like Barrage is easier to bring out and it has multiple charges. It seems like it's more effective for moving around the field and stuff, so I would think that Blizzard just allows you to put the CC out for longer. Maybe Blizzard allows you to freeze people easy, but it doesn't necessarily say that, but we don't have any hands-on tests to really test that, so I'm just speculating at that point. And that's pretty much all we can speculate at this point with the class power. I think class power is going to be very, very interesting. Having a total of 25% more class power overall for your primary and secondary class is very, very exciting, and I think it's going to possibly be a very important stat that we got to look at when we do min-maxing type builds, of course, because little stat changes do deal a lot. Like, perhaps you want the 15% to be Spellshot, so you have more spell damage from your spell cast, while you want this to instead be Stabbomancer because the critical hit chance is only multiplicative, so it's not as important, but still it's awesome to increase it by a little bit. I would love to hear your thoughts on the topic, whether or not you think this is going to be important to maximize or min-max at all. I think it's going to be very important in my opinion, but people have argued since it's such a small percentage that it won't make as much of a difference, but I think it's going to be pretty important to try to min-max that stat, especially endgame. And as always, a big shout out to the members who make these videos possible. We have Jace Noodles, Clairvoyance, 31 Bar 70, and Rick Iglesias. These are the people who support me as little as $5 a month, and you can also support me as little as $5 a month by clicking the link in the comments or description or on the top right to become a member. The more members we have, the closer I get to becoming full-time, which means more videos for you guys. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.
And the last shall be first to immerse in a pass out heat, facing him out with a moxie melt till he woke up drowning in tchotchke hell. War in a cave with a torch on a wall, then a window arrangement of porcelain dolls.